October. They're out during half of November.
Yes.
They return on the 15th, the scheduled return on the 15th. If that's impending, what do you think that will do to the House and Senate seats? I ask you, Ellen.
That will put Ken Starr's face as somebody for Democrats to run against, and that will rebound to the favor of Democrats. Al D'Amato is the object lesson here. Every day he sat on that Whitewater Committee. He lost.
We're going to get everybody in. Please be brief.
That's total nonsense. Look, if Starr rolls it up the hill, it depends what it contains. If it's very, very bad,
hey, if it's a
bad for Clinton.
If it's a 0 to 10 rating and 10 is maximum damage, how much damage will it do to the Democrats running in November?
It will be horrendous.
Horrendous.
Get a 10 out of Starr.
What do you think?
If it's bad enough, if the evidence is solid against Clinton, it's bad for the Democrats.
Assume they can't get rid of it and tidy it up by the end of June before the...
Look, I disagree with you.
By the end of July...
If the evidence is so compelling, they will have to proceed with it. They cannot just dump it for 3 months.
All right, what's the impact going to be? 8, 9, 6? Big.
10.
What do you think?
No, less than 5, because if they're holding onto it for months and months, it's because they don't want to come out with a decision that will hurt the Republicans before the election.
I have to tell you, Jay, if they're in session, and they continue in session in August, and they're scheduled to resume in mid-November, it will probably be a 9. It will be extremely
do it.
If they tidy everything up, however, if they tidy everything up, Eleanor, before they go on recess at the end of July, then the impact will be practically maybe 1 or 2 on a damage scale. Issue 4. Triana has his eye on you.
Today I'm proposing that NASA launch a satellite named Triana, which will provide the very first continuous live images of the entire Earth from space.
Vice President Al Gore has a fresh idea that will show what's really going on around the world. A satellite camera 1 million miles away, beyond the moon, focused on the Earth and delivering a live, full-planet view of our rotating world. The image would be broadcast 24 hours a day on cable television and the Internet.
2, 1, 0, and we have liftoff.
Gore sees satellite Triana, named after the sailor on Christopher Columbus's ship the Pinta, who first spotted the New World, as a useful tool for scientists, teachers, students, and the general public to study weather patterns and other environmental phenomena. Triana will cost $50 million to get it up and running. Who pays for it? Not Congress, apparently. Republican Dana Rohrabacher, chairman of the House Space and Aeronautics Subcommittee, says the idea is more of a small step for Gore's career than it is a small step for mankind. He gives the proposal no chance of passing Congress, but respected NASA chief Daniel Golden likes the proposal, and it says it has scientific value. Also, we have not seen a full planet view of Earth since the last moon mission almost 30 years ago. If Congress does not allocate the money, the project could get private funding. NASA hopes the satellite can be in place by the year 2000. Question, should Congress pay for Triana more contracts?
No, I don't think so.
Does it have one redeeming feature?
I think, look, yes, it has lots of redeeming features, and someday it will happen. This is a perfect private project that maybe Rupert Murdoch and Ted Turner...
There was a wonderful social mixture in the CCC. Social compost, if you want. You felt good about yourself because you fit, and you were able to do your job along with the next guy. That's what gave you confidence. At last, I could bring some help to my family. I could send them home $25 a month. You know, they could rent an apartment back then for $10 a month. And I could keep $5 a month to blow away any way I wanted to. To this day, I can go and see parks that we built. The living legacy. You didn't have a living legacy on the road.
The CCC lasted for 9 years, offering kids like Jim Mitchell a way out.
We got into Soda Springs, Idaho on a Saturday night, and it was the Henry Stampede was in full swing. And that was really exciting, but that night Irene had decided to start a relationship with one of these cowboys. And I wasn't interested in that sort of thing. And the next morning I got up and confronted her and said, "Come on, let's go." And she says, "No, I'm going on with the boys to Sun Valley to the next rodeo." Says, "Come on, go with us." And I said, "No way. I'm going home." And so I was really frightened to walk out on the highway by myself. I was really frightened. The next ride I got was with a couple of maniacs. They drove like crazy down that canyon and drove up behind the hotel. As we got out of one ride took me across the mountains and clear into my own town of Glendale. A neighbor was in. I was lovingly greeted. I was never scolded. Nobody ever questioned me. I was glad to be home. But it was still hard times.
He was driving into the driveway and they came back. And he was angry. It startled him so badly that his first reaction was one of anger. I'll never forget that. It was a bitter time. All I was thinking about was getting out and on the road again. And I finally left. And instead of going east this time, I went west.
When I came back and I finished my things, I wanted to go up and just knock them in the face because they weren't, and I was asking questions that were embarrassing for teachers, about why this is going on. He says, and one of my teachers says, "We're not here to talk about things like that. I'm here to teach you geometry." You couldn't ask a social question there. Talk about people that are laying in the street right in your own hometown, which there were. That trip on the road in 1936 changed my life, and changed my life in the way I view the world that I live in.
By 1941, the Depression was over, and a generation of boys and girls had spent their adolescence on the road. They went on to join the Army, find jobs, and eventually have children of their own. But it was their time on the road which has had the greatest impact on the course of their lives. When I was on the road, I looked in a shop window and saw this dirty-looking guy. It was me. I thought I was a complete failure. I never overcame it. I'm 76 years old and still feel it. Earl Mathewson, Seldovia, Alaska. After World War II, I worked as a metal worker for 42 years. I missed 5 days of work in that whole time. I learned that when you get a job, hang on to it. Ben Fowler, Fremont, California.
John, you want to do this again?
Do what?
Copper freight?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, damn right. Oh, yeah, you never get over that, It's dangerous, that's why it's fun,
No, I don't want to ride there now. I don't want to ride anymore now. I wouldn't want to do that again or nothing. That was days, though. Good gracious. Whew.
Truth to tell, I've ridden much more since I retired than I ever did as a kid. Because now I'll ride maybe 10,000 miles a summer. And my wife says, we'll say, "Where's Bob?" "Oh, he's on a trip. He's traveling." "Oh, yeah? How does he travel?" She says, "By train." And they all think it's by passenger train. I'm getting tired